My name is Matt. I'm a reseller. My name is Matt. I'm a full-time reseller of clothing on eBay and Poshmark, and I do a quick flip business model. So I source clothing that doesn't sell for a whole lot of money, but it sells really quickly, and I supplement that by selling more expensive, longer tail clothing items and shoes when I can find it. I have been having really good success with this business model, but my sales kind of slowed down the past week or so, and I realized it's because I'm not sourcing enough. I have gotten into a bad habit of going out sourcing first thing in the morning and then kind of calling it when I get tired, when my little feetsies get tired. So I decided to be a real reseller and do 9 to 5 today. So I got up 7:30, was at a Goodwill at 9 in the morning, and just left the last Goodwill at 5. There was a 2-hour, I guess, break in there where I had to rush home and do a phone interview with someone. So it was about 6 hours that I was thrifting. And I got all of this. Here's my haul. Here's all the stuff that I got. Almost all of this is what I described, the quick flip stuff. There are surprisingly few of the longer tail, more expensive items. I expected to find more of them. A lot of this stuff, I am consciously aware that there are stains and holes in it, but I bought it anyway, and I want to talk about what circumstances are appropriate to actually do that, where that's not as big of a liability as it may seem. So let's just, let's get through it. I also don't know what the total amount of money I spent is. It's around 150 bucks, I think. So this is one of the only kind of higher dollar pieces that I got. This is a Banana Republic. No, it's not. It's a J. Crew. What is that? Is that Ludlow? Yeah, Ludlow 42R blazer, sport coat something, and it's made with this fabric that I don't recognize. A lot of the stuff I buy, I don't know what it is. I look it up, it's worth money, I buy it. And there is one comp for this at 80 and not a whole lot of active listings to compete with it. So I'm happy to put this up for 70 and sit on it for a month, see what happens. And if it doesn't sell, bump it down to 40 or 50. And this cost 10, so basically anything 30 and up, I'm fine with, as long as it sells. Where am I going to put all this stuff? I'm going to gingerly drape this somewhere. Stand by. All right. So I always advocate going by the numbers, looking up actives versus comps, what it's going to sell for, have a conscious strategy for every single item that you source. Don't source with your eye. Sometimes though, you just have to pull the trigger blind. There is no point to not buy this. This is a vintage Wrangler. I think this is the XL tails. That's the vintage tag. And Aztec stuff, that's what this is called. This is called Aztec pattern or Southwestern. Eagles, pearl snap. There are stains on it. So this is a good example of what I was talking about. There are somewhere on here, there's little yellow stains right there. Let's see if I can show it on camera, if it'll pick up. There's at least one stain spot on this shirt. If I anticipated listing this shirt for 20 bucks to flip it, double my money, this would be an instant throwback. Something like this though, I'm actually going to do the old way. I'm gonna put this up probably for 50, 60 bucks and see what happens. Someone might grab it for full price. Someone might make a best offer for something that is appetizing to me, makes my mouth water, and I'll pull the trigger on it. But a flaw this relatively minor is not gonna stop me from attempting to make money off of something that is this spectacular. Not to my eye, I would not wear this, but the market adores this kind of a thing. This is huge. If it was flawless and I listed it for 30, it would be gone within an hour. Paid $7 for it. If it had a big hole or something like that, I would have passed. But this was, I couldn't pass up on this. All right, it's going on the floor. Columbia. Most Columbia stuff is not worth your time, even the fleeces, even a lot of the jackets. This, however, the PFG, that stands for Pro Fishing Gear. These vintage shirts have really not high, well, I guess high sell-through, but even sell-through. 100% of them sell. This is a boys XL. I may actually end up keeping this because I am a fisherman and I'm a tiny one. I'm a little sprite of a man, so this actually might be the perfect size for me. If it's not, I'll list it for 20. Should flip pretty quick, and it's in great condition. I've been finding like the kids clothes that I find, I very rarely buy it. One, because I just don't run into it. I don't source in the kids section, and two, most of it's worth nothing. But something like this, it's always in pretty good shape because it's donated, not because it got messed up. Usually it's just donated because the kid grew out of it. So that's either double my money status, or I'm gonna wear it to catch carp at MacArthur Park. All right, this is an obvious yes. This is a hemp blend shirt, short sleeve. Got it for $5. The hemp shirts have crazy sell-through. Didn't have any stains. Didn't even need to run the numbers. Okay, here's another example of something I bought when I knew it had a flaw. This is not only Lululemon, it's a men's Lululemon shirt. Anything men's Lululemon, buy it. Even if it has minor flaws, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's pants, shorts, yoga pants, shirts, t-shirts, something like this, which is a button-down shirt, all of it not only sells well, it sells better and faster than the women's Lululemon stuff because there's a lot of demand for it and there's not a lot of supply. It's relatively much less common to find. Whenever I list it, if I find men's stuff, you just can't hang on to it at all. So these shirts have 2x sell-through, meaning there are twice as many sold as actives. This one has a glossy spot on it where the texture is wrong. It's rough to the touch. This guy took an iron to this fabric, which is not resilient enough for an iron. That's what I assume happened. So it is kind of conspicuous. I'll just point it out in the photos. I'll list it for under market. I'll probably list it just for even 20. This was $6 and it'll still flip. The demand is so high that someone will come in and grab it if the price is right. This is gonna get a ton of eyes on it. And to make up for that, same guy donated another shirt with nothing wrong with it. Same size, men's medium. You can tell, you probably already know this, but in case you don't, you can tell that it's a men's shirt always, because when you're looking at it on the hanger, when the buttons are on the left side, I can't remember if these are both called plackets or if just one side is called the placket, but if it's on the left placket, I'm just gonna take the liberty of using that word. When you're looking at it, it's a men's. If the buttons are attached to the right one and this left side comes over the top, it's a women's. That took me a long time to remember. Very important to know though. That's extraordinarily useful to memorize. So I'll probably list this up higher than that one, maybe 25, 30, depending on where the bottom of the market is. American Apparel stuff, I haven't seen, they went out of business a few years ago, I'm pretty sure, or at least they stopped manufacturing new clothing, I think. The owner guy got way too horny and tanked the company. I don't remember what his name is. He was like a photographer or something. This is a Slim Fit Oxford. It says Slim Fit Oxford. If you don't know what Oxford shirts are, they're these kind of almost like a twill fabric. So it's a heavier fabric with a little bit of texture, and it's a button down. So the points of the collar button to the body of the shirt. So this is a button down, not a button up. This is another useful keyword tip for listing stuff. The two phrases are used interchangeably, but they shouldn't be. This is a button down. If the collars were hanging free, it would be a button up. And it's a nitpick, but a lot of buyers care about that kind of thing. And I think it just, for those people, undermines your credibility as a seller just a little bit if you can't nail those keywords. You know, constantly learning this stuff. This is really a high quality, you can just tell feeling it, shirt. Not all American Apparel stuff sells, and most of it doesn't sell for a whole ton of money, but some of the verticals within American Apparel, especially higher quality, less common stuff like that, have really high sell-through. Here's another one. Might have been the same guy. American Apparel, button down. I'm going to list this maybe as an Oxford, maybe as a twill. Twill is like this heavily ribbed cotton. I don't know if you can see it, but when there's the diagonal lines and you can feel the ribbing texture, that's called a twill. And it's a button down. This is it's a plaid. I'm not totally fluent with my plaids. I think this is a window pane. It's not a gingham. I don't think. Gingham is this small plaid where half of them are filled in with a solid color. But this is another one I'll list for 20. Flip it, double my money. 100% sell through on these and not a lot of competition. So that was all from the second thrift store I went to. I went to three of them, and all that stuff was $43.93. All right, let's rewind. This was the first place I stopped. It was a Goodwill. That last one was not a Goodwill, and it was a welcome change of pace because that was from St. Vincent de Paul, which is a huge famous thrift store in LA. And it's nice to take a break from Goodwill every once in a while because St. Vincent's doesn't do new merch carts and racks, so you can really focus and dig your, sink your teeth into the main inventory instead of being pulled away every 15-20 minutes to go engage in mortal combat with elderly women. All right, it's not a joke. PacSun, decent brand to look out for, not crazy high money, but it's one of the higher end mall brands. This is a scallop fit shirt. I think that means that bottom shape, if you can see it, it's rounded. And there's nothing wrong with it. This was priced up. This is $4, but these are, I think these were 1X, 100% sell through. So Levi's chambray shirt with a little bit of striping coloration. This is even sell through. This is not a blockbuster item, $7. This is just very bread and butter, double my money. I'll probably make $7 or $8 on this. Chambray is the material that looks and feels like denim, but it's lighter than denim. It's, denim is, you know what denim is. It's like denim. It's like denim plus denim divided by dress shirt fabric, if that makes sense. It's like really, really light denim. Almost like a hemp. Yeah. Nothing else to say there. New brand for me. This is out of season. We're in October now. This is definitely a summer shirt. These kinds of brands, when I find them, I will always gamble on. This was $6. I'm willing to gamble $6 on this because there are very few actives and solds, but all of them are $50 plus. So this is hard to pass up. There's not a huge market for it. Just a handful of people are searching for this brand. But those kinds of numbers, if there is demand for it, that gives you a lot of room to make choices. There's all kinds of ways that you can approach something like this. So what I typically do is I price higher than what I would normally price a shirt You know, I really very rarely price above 25, certainly rarely price above 30 for virtually anything that I sell. But something like this, where it is rare and it's really niche and there's an established precedent of this selling for more money, I will price it higher, but I will still price it under market. So I'll find a sweet spot, a middle distance between a quick flip, pricing it way down, and pricing it to match the market. So if the lowest comp is 50 bucks active, I would probably price this at like 35, 37 in that area, so that it's the clear, obvious choice for the buyer if they're coming in and they're doing comparison shopping for this brand. But there is, you know, an obvious advantage monetarily for picking that. Or you could price it up, you could price it way down, make it a really quick flip, etc. You have more freedom with stuff like that. Talk about these all the time. Banana Republic men's shirts that have strings of modifiers in the name. Not all are created equal. You have to look up each vertical, but these have 100% sell-through, not a ton of supply. I think it was like 20 v 20. Double my money. Here's another long tail gambler. I won't go through the whole rigmarole. It's the same circumstances as the one that I described with the sailboats. I don't know this brand. This is, again, a chambray shirt. See if you can see, it's slightly translucent. It's denim-y, but it's not denim, that's chambray. And it has this weird thing going on with the placket down here. Let's see if I can show you. So when this buttons up, it has this big flap that curves over. This is the second shirt in 2 days I've bought that has this going on. I don't know if there's a name for that, for this. But, you know, very little track record with this brand, but it's super expensive, super crazy expensive. So I'll crunch the numbers. I might list this for 50 or something. I'm willing to gamble $7. Okay, on to Goodwill number 3. It's another kind of risky one. Like, I'll buy stuff that isn't a guaranteed sale if there's reason to believe that it could and would sell. So there's 0 active comps and there are 2 sold comps for this phrase. What is it? Tokyo Burger Run 86 with this design. This is like a threadless t-shirt, which is confusing because this is not a threadless tag. I don't know what the story there is. But 2 t-shirts sold for around 20 bucks. There are no active comps. I'm gonna list this for 25 and it should flip. I'm hoping. This is not just a shot in the dark is what I'm saying. I'm not just seeing this and being like, isn't that neat? And there's no track record at all, and I'm just picking with my eye. Stussy. This is one of those tricky brands. This is a brand that you want to believe is just universally worth picking up, but it's not. A lot of the verticals are flooded. T-shirts are one of those verticals, but these big graphic spell out logo shirts, especially the regional ones, this is Tokyo, they sell really well. And this has raised ink. This is, if you can hear, you know, this is really textured. Men's large. I don't know, might list this for 20, just move it quick. It's an annoying brand because you list it and you get a ton of lowball offers. I don't know why. Do not pass up trash brands that fit certain criteria. Never write off a brand completely. This is cheapest of the cheap. I think this is Costco. But the cashmere stuff, cashmere sweaters, whenever you can find Charter Club cashmere, buy them. It all sells. I've bought like 5 or 6 of these over the course of my career. Most cashmere stuff, when you find it, it's always gonna have holes in it. Because people hang on to it. There's no people really love cashmere. They know that it's worth money and high quality, so they camp on it and they only donate it when there's stuff wrong with it. But this one was in really good condition, and these have 100% sell-through. I'll probably list it at like 20, double my money. Not going to be greedy with something like Charter Club, just going to move it out. This was, I found this, I'm glad that I made myself stay until exactly 5 p.m. at this Goodwill, because about 5 minutes before I was, you know, approaching my deadline at like 4:55, they rolled out a new clothing rack, and this was on it. This is a Lululemon sweater. I keep finding these, and they sell within 24 hours when I list them. I've been listing them for 30 bucks, cross-listing them on eBay and Poshmark. I cannot hang on to them. They fly immediately, and this one is even more unique than normal. It has like the big Lululemon Ohm symbol on it. And this is another case of, I've talked about this in previous videos. Lululemon is a stealth brand sometimes, and that the branding is really inconspicuous. You really have to look for the logos. A lot of the time, there's only a logo down. It'll be on the back, way down here. It's really small, or it'll be on the zippers, and that's the only way to tell it's Lululemon, unless you know what it feels like, and that was the case. So if you're at a new clothing rack and you feel this texture, and it's a specific texture to the fabric, you just need to grab it immediately. And that was the case. I had someone right here, I had another person right here battling me for clothes. I felt this texture and I just grabbed it, and I was right. It was Lululemon. This is the most important brand for you to get a tactile feel for, in my opinion. And it's the most unique. It is the most specific kind of texture of any brand of clothing that I've encountered. I almost never find this brand here. I live in LA. This is an East Coast brand. I don't know the gender on this. I'm guessing, I truly don't know. Long sleeve polo shirts, 100% sell through, not crazy money. Again, most of this is just, I expect to double my money, but I expect it to move quickly. This is a Nike polo shirt with the, God, where is it? Where are you at? Mercedes-Benz. 0 active comps, 2 sold comps, both were for around 40 bucks. So I have the market to myself. I'll probably list at 25, 30. Move it quick. About to run out of battery, shit. Okay, I'm gonna speed through this because I'm about to run out of battery. Okay, this is a rare J. Crew sub-brand destination. It's like a waffle knit sweater, men's, nothing wrong with it. Don't know how much I'll get for that, but it'll sell. And this, great brand. Some of it really sells great, made well. This is like an army, that's the keyword. This one was hard to look up because it's a jacket, it's a shirt, it's an army shirt. It's I think it's a H-frame or H-cut shirt. It's really hard to pinpoint, so I kind of had to use my intuition, but it was only 7 bucks. I'll probably end up flipping this for like 30, 35. It's this really heavy cotton fabric, more of a jacket. That's it. So that's a pretty solid haul for 6 hours. I think I'm gonna keep repeating this. I think I'm gonna do like a full 8-hour day, and then do like a half day in between 8-hour days and spend the other half listing, something like that. Okay, hopefully it sells. Thanks, guys.